Okay, so we have talked about flipped lessons. You may have also heard of the term hybrid lesson or hybrid course. What exactly is a hybrid lesson and how does it differ from a flipped lesson? Well, recall that with a flipped lesson, instruction is moved online or outside of class. Practice or homework is moved into the classroom. That is what characterizes a lesson as a flipped lesson. So, what about a hybrid lesson? Well, hybrid learning came out of the recognition that online learning has unique advantages, some characteristics that make it great. Stop for a moment and write down all of the advantages you can think of for learning that takes place online. You will need to do this anyway for the next application activity, so you might as well go ahead and do it now. Okay, so you likely came up with a handful of advantages of online learning, such as students can work at their own pace, or more reserved students may feel more comfortable speaking up and participating in discussion. But face-to-face learning, which is the traditional format where everyone is together in a classroom, has its own advantages as well. Pause for one more moment and write down the advantages you can think of that a face to face learning environment has over an online environment. Okay, so you probably identified some advantages that are unique to the face to face learning environment, such as that students can more easily have synchronous in person discussions, the value of which is really difficult to replicate in an online environment. Also, in a face-to-face class, students can work together with each other and the instructor in real time. And the instructor can answer questions that students have rather than having them to wait a day or two for a response. So, as we can see, there are advantages that are unique to online learning and those that are unique to face-to-face learning. Hybrid or blended learning, as it is sometimes referred to as, attempts to get at the best of both worlds by integrating online and face to face learning. So, a hybrid course is basically one that has both face to face and online learning components. With a hybrid course or lesson, a proportion of classroom activities occur online. This proportion can vary widely, anywhere from one third of the class to about three-fourths of the class activities. Consequently, there is an equivalent reduction in classroom time. So, if you decide to hold one third of what would normally occur in class online, then your class should meet for only two-thirds of the normally allotted time. If your face to face class typically meets for 3 hours a week, then you would reduce that face to face time to 2 hours a week and hold about an hour's worth of class activities online. So, hybrid and flipped courses are similar in that both involve some face to face and some online components. However, a hybrid course may or may not involve bringing the homework or practice component to the classroom. And the hybrid course may or may not involve posting video lectures online, whereas those are the two things that characterize a flipped course. So, to summarize, a hybrid course or lesson is where there is a reduction in classroom time in proportion to online activity. A flipped course or lesson is an actual reversal of the lecture homework paradigm.